Hi everyone, my name's Amy and welcome to my channel. This is the first episode of ABC on women's health. Today I'm talking about my top tip for your health. Now this is applicable to both men and women, but obviously being a woman I'm going to specifically be directing these at women and women's health. Now before we dive in, I'm just going to address the elephant in the room. Some of you are probably thinking, here's another skinny fit girl talking about health. So I just wanted to let you guys know that that's not necessarily the case. So I've had a lot of health problems in the past. I'm 23 years old and I've had severe acne since I was 12. I've also suffered with endometriosis, which has caused severe pain, weight loss, and a number of emotional and mental health issues to go along with that. So right now I'm actually the healthiest weight I have been for my entire life. I got married back in 2016 in September, and since then my size has fluctuated so much. I've changed pant size about 3 or 4 times, which is pretty crazy, and I'm not going to mention my bra size fluctuations. My point in all of this is that I'm speaking from a place of experience, personal experience. I'm not just someone who has an unnatural, permanently healthy body and having physical perfection. Not at all. I have been quite unwell in the past and I'm actually incredibly well right now, and I've been through a lot as part of that. And so what I'm doing on this channel is I'm just sharing some of that stuff that I've learned with you over time. I'm not going to give you my whole endometriosis story today, that's something for another time, but I am going to cover a couple of points, and one of them is that in my journey through endometriosis I've been to a lot of doctors, and I've actually experienced a number of doctors telling me that there's nothing wrong with me, that I need to suck it up, and I've even had doctors poking around at me and asking if it hurts, and it does, and then they still tell me there's nothing wrong. Most doctors, especially for women, will only prescribe the pill for basically any women's problems, which I think is a mistake, although it can be helpful for some people. After having been through a number of trial and error sessions with doctors, I decided that I would take my health into my own hands. I went home and I spent weeks doing research, and I also asked around and got the details of a different doctor and went to see a new doctor, armed with all this research that I'd been doing. So on my first visit to my new doctor, I actually went in carrying bottles of herbal medication that I had and armed with a whole lot of knowledge of different things that I'd researched. Now I know that this is a little bit controversial, but I actually walked into this doctor's office and I told her that I diagnosed myself and I knew what was wrong. Now this isn't something I recommend doing all the time because I know it can be very frustrating for doctors. That day with that doctor was the moment that I actually got some breakthrough in having some help and some direction. Now I was put on the pill for a while and it wasn't effective, but the doctor did give me a lot of help and a lot of helpful advice, and interestingly she actually agreed with my diagnosis. And when I finally went to see a gynecologist, she also agreed with what I diagnosed. Now this is not often the case, but I do think it's really important to do research. From that day forward, I have continued to inform myself about my own health and continue to research different things that we do in everyday life that affects our health, and this is what I'm going to be covering in some of my videos. I think it's really important right now to make the point that I don't want you to ditch your doctor. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that we need to learn to trust ourselves and combine our own self-knowledge with the expertise of a trained professional doctor. So nobody knows you like you do. Nobody knows your body like you, and no one can actually say what's wrong with your body better than you can. Now, we're not doctors, so we can't possibly have the understanding of how to treat those things. But I do think oftentimes we know within us when there's something wrong, even if the doctor can't see any symptoms or any signs of that. So what I'm talking about here is learning to stay informed and learning to trust ourselves. So my top tip for women's health or anyone's health is actually just to become your own doctor. Now what I mean by this is not to exclude real trained professional doctors, but instead to learn to observe your own health and to research different things that you do and how they might affect you. Now, the idea behind this is to actually help you to understand yourself better so that you can work with your doctor. So you're not just walking into your doctor's surgery having no understanding of your body or the habits that you have. Some doctors are not open to this at all, and I would suggest that you look around for a doctor who is also prepared to do a lot of research and to walk with you on that journey, because there are some good doctors out there and they do help you with that. This is not about working against doctors, and I don't have anything against doctors. And you'll find that some doctors are more open to holistic health than others, but not too many of them. But what I'm not talking about here is not necessarily holistic health, but general well-being and just having a good understanding of your body. So 2 years ago I was incredibly sick and I was seeing doctors and I was spending a fortune on medication. One time I went to the chemist to fill out my scripts and I spent over $90 on my medication for 1 month. So I decided to take things into my own hands, and if I'm perfectly honest, I have not been back to a doctor in the last 12 months. Now, that's not to say I haven't had any health issues, but I understand my body so well that I know when I can fix something myself and when I need to see a doctor. Obviously, if you don't know what's going on and if you're not well, it's really important to go and see a doctor. Please don't take this advice as biblical truth, because it's different for everyone. But I do think it's really important for you to take your health into your own hands, in the sense that you spend time learning about you and how your body works, so you can work with a doctor, because we deserve better health, women deserve better health, and people deserve better health. And I think all doctors would agree with that, but not everyone is the best doctor for you, and not every doctor is going to help you the way that you need it. The best thing for you to do, and my top tip, rounded off, is for you to learn about your body and how your body works for you. I hope this video has helped you, and if you're really interested to know more about some of my top tips, look out for my endometriosis story and all sorts of things on skin health, hormonal health, and all things women's health, then please hit the subscribe button and the like button, and don't forget the little bell that will notify you every time I upload a video. Thanks for watching and have a great week.